Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Monday nights at MATCHFIT Entertainment, and we are here in 2026 and proud to present the official coverage of Rainlight Racing's 2026 LMU Series here tonight. Mondays again, ladies and gentlemen, awesome stuff, and with the Rainlight boys here and with LMU, so awesome stuff as always. Look, MATCHFIT, major sponsors here tonight, obviously with SimBlacks on board with some great giveaways again for the Rainlight boys, True to Life Racing, and obviously Crossy 43. I'm Davo, J-Man by my side here for round one at Paul Ricard. How you doing there, J-Man?
Yeah, good, Davo. Thank you for the intro. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in once again to a Monday night. It's been a minute since we've been able to provide a Monday night broadcast. Well, it seems like a minute. But yeah, looking forward to this one. Once again, great job by the team in the back of house to get this one off the ground again. Once again, we do have the LMP cars and the LMGD3s as well. So out there on track very, very shortly, you will see the hypercars go out for their qualifying, and then basically with 9 minutes and 59 seconds to go, we'll see the GD3s get out there and get into it. So good circuit to kick off on, Davo and viewers. 5.8 kilometres, 15 turns. So it is Paul Ricard with the chicane. So that just splits the Mistral straight, so to speak, and adds a little bit more to the lap. So just slightly on what would be normally about a K or just over a K long. They get to split that in half and fire a couple of more corners in there. So yeah, it should be pretty entertaining, and some fast drivers back once again for 2026 and season 12.
Look, we've got the usual suspects back, haven't we, J-Man? and a couple of fresh names. I'm not sure whether all of them are on track tonight, but yeah, good solid field again here. I think we've got about 15 or 16 boys out there to kick things off. I know a few of the guys are still away. As we just all get over the Christmas and New Year's hangovers. But it is February, come on. So we're back, and the drivers jumping on board again. A few extra hypercars out there, I think, in the field. Well, maybe not tonight, but a few more signed up for the season as well, J-Man.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to see as well. Obviously, Nathan Bewley rocking the Alpine out there, and obviously good representation throughout the field, I think, for GD3s and for Hypers this season. Obviously, we got some Porsches out there as well. I didn't see the caddy this time round, so maybe Shane Fotterdo decided to give that one a little bit of a misfit. Now, he was the guy that had a crack on that last season, but however, expect some fantastic times to turn up from these Hypers. They are generating some awesome mid-corner speed here, letting these things loose and letting the aero really come into its own. So looking forward to this one, and this quali will just fly by so quickly.
It will, J-Man, like you said, split into a two as tradition here, obviously, with, look, it just makes sense, doesn't it, to get the Hypers out there, let them run around for 10 or so minutes, and then get the GT cars out there so they're not interrupting each other's lap times. But here we are, Paul Ricard. Look, what a great track to run a Hyper around, J-Man.
Yeah, I think it'll bode well for them, the first one up. And like you say, a few more cars out there. Obviously, we've got Fraser, Mitchell, Perkins, Bewley, and Oliver Kerr out there tonight in the Hypers, and obviously Isaac Perkins away. Did see Isaac tune in.
Yes, and Lee Perkins actually swapped out GT. I think he was in the Lambo end of last year and the last season. But tonight, let's get cameras on that man. There he is out there in the BMW, giving it a crack in the Hypers. So it's definitely one to watch. I'm sure it's a bit of a learning curve initially for these boys, but it'll be interesting to watch his progress throughout the season. And yes, new season, J-Man. We will just quickly, as the boys just circulate there, 10 rounds here, as you can see on the calendar there. We are at Paul Ricard, all 1 hour and 15 or 1 hour and 30-minute races. A couple of extended races towards the back end of the season there at Monza and Barcelona. But tonight we kick it off at Paul Ricard. And like I mentioned, what a great place to run around in a freaking hypercar, I tell ya. Here at Paul Ricard. So awesome stuff. Cameras on Robbie Mitchell, J-Man, at the moment. I think it's a BMW as well. You can trademark huge big kidney events in the front of that car.
Yeah, and Robbie looked good in official practice, but look, they're all going to go out tonight in the hypers and chase. What was a very, very stout time from Nathan Bewley, and he proved his worth last season when he got out there and obviously battled really, really hard. I think in the Toyota last season, if my memory serves me correct. Yep. But look, another year, another season, and look, we're starting to see the times come in. Chris Fraser already banks at 1:52.1, and Nathan Bewley 1:49.8. Now that time is very, very close to the time that we saw him being in official practice, and yeah, good to see Fraser within 2.3 seconds, and that may sound like a lot, but these things are so damn fast. Some 8.5 to 9.5 seconds faster than a GT3 car around here at the moment. So see what that shakes out.
Easily, J-Man. Well, I mean, look at the difference between Bewley and Fraser's time there. Immediately with an over 2 second gap, and then 13 odd seconds back to Perko there. But like we were just talking about, coming up the speed here with a hyper after, pretty much spending your whole career in a GT car. Yeah, maybe a little bit of a learning curve, J-Man, just quietly.
Yeah, I suspect, everything happening a lot faster in one of these things, but look, that might have been pretty much a siding lap or maybe a bit of a mistake in there, because I'd expect Lee still to be a lot closer than that.
Sure.
Robbie Mitchell as well, I don't think we've seen the best out of Robbie in the session yet, as he goes personal best, sector 1, sector 2, just making his way at the moment down through what is turn 12, and then quite a good acceleration zone through a sweeping right-hander to head himself up to turn 14, 15, the final two corners of the circuit. And he runs quite wide there through 14, cuts back, and then tries to square the car up. Looks like he's got a little bit of understeer on that thing, so just trying to work out the balance early in the piece is Robbie Mitchell. Okay, so that delivers him with a 1:53.7, which intermittently took him to third, but Lee Perkins has stepped up 52.3, so very close to sharing the front row with Nathan Bewley. However, Chris Fraser just has that by the smallest margin at the moment, so still trading.
Fraser
up there.
Fraser in a stunning looking Rockman's liveried car there, J-Man. So that is a damn fine looking vehicle right there.
Race car, Davo.
Race car. Oh, race car. Oh, it does have doors. Yes, race car. So nice work from Fraser.
It's good to see good number of people tuning in. We do appreciate the support. It does certainly help MATCHFIT do what they do, so we really appreciate it, team, and I hope you're enjoying this qualifying, and it is pretty amped up right now. And interestingly enough, just looking at the data on my screen, a big difference between the likes of Nathan Bewley. He's out there running a lot of fuel and got a lot of virtual energy on board as well, and then you have somebody like Lee Perkins and Robbie Mitchell, and they are running these things lean, very lean. so not too many laps in the tank for those boys.
No, very much in qualifying mode, both of those cars, and mind, both BMWs as well, Lee Perkins and Robbie Mitchell's cars, so maybe that's just the way they extract the best out of them during qualifying. Mitchell just about to run across the line again. And puts himself on the front row of the grid in doing so. J-Man with a 1:51.843, so not a bad effort.
Yeah, very, very tidy.
Well, I'll tell you what, Archie's excited, you can hear.
Oh, the MATCHFIT mascot is pumped up about Monday night racing once again.
He's going off chops in the background going, go Robbie! So, go Archie, good on you, Rob.
Okay, so not too far away. Only got around about, what do we got? Minute and a half odd. And then we will see the first of the GT3s coming out, and they will be super, super anxious to get these laps down. And once again, big field of, mixed bag there. Good to see.
Yep.
The Mercedes out there. Good to see,
yes.
Obviously, some good representation from the Porsches. But
yeah,
right now,
yes,
it is all about these hypers, and these times are super, super fast.
So
Beauty's time.
Yeah,
Beauty's time likely to be somewhere in the vicinity of around, I want to say 15 to 16 seconds faster than we might see out of a GT3 car. It's a very, very impressive time.
Yeah, and it looks like he's done a reasonable lap again. Not bettering the sectors, but definitely making a show up. It actually looks like he's backed off there a little bit.
Look at this. They talked about 9:59 being the cutoff point when they cross the line. If it counts down to 10 seconds, he's going to cross the line with 10 minutes and 6 seconds remaining. So he gets this lap. This is critical. He's going to effectively be, by my calculations, the last car hyper out on track.
On track, yeah. Okay, so that's a bit of a treat. It almost looked like he eased off a little bit at the back end of that lap there. Maybe
waited for it. Yep.
Yeah, just let the tyres cool and just got that timing right. But Bewley most definitely pushing you. Just see it in the body language of the car. They're very, very taily. Out of that right-hander. Taking the signage out of the process. Through the left out onto the back straight here.
Yeah,
awesome.
That didn't do anything for his sector one. However, he fires it down into turn 8, turn 9.
So the chicane along the back straight here, and not everybody's familiar with the Paul Ricard chicane because we are quite honest, we don't see it a lot, do we, J-Man? I don't think we've ever called a race with the back chicane here at Paul Ricard. But yes, it's probably crucial to slow these hypers down a little bit. Down what it seems like a runway length back straight here at Paul Ricard. He has not backed off. A little bit taily early in the lap there. The deltas, as you can sort of see on the top right hand corner of your screen there, ladies and gentlemen, nothing spectacular, but still pushing, and it looks like he might be just doing a quick practice entry into the pits, as we do see the boys, the GT drivers, out on track here for 2026 at Rainlight Racing in their LMU series here at Paul Ricard tonight, led by, I think, none other than Harry Lawrence. J-Man, is that?
Yeah, that's correct, mate. Yep, Harry was out there nice and early, just managed to time that run to get out and have a whole lot of fresh air in front of him. So he's just cycling up and about to start his first flying lap. So watch this one here, and look, I guess a respectable number will be somewhere anywhere in, I think, the 205s is going to be maybe a number to look for.
So Baker Good to see the Merc out there. Both J-Man and myself, a big fan of the brand. The cars always look stunning, and the sound, oh my, just one of the best sounding cars on the racetrack. That big, lazy V8. Thundering noise from the Mercedes, as always. Who else we got in this? Who else we got? Unlock. Let's go, Matty Clark, Jamie. Back in, well, is there any surprise that Clark is in an Aston? Like, really? Come on.
Yeah, look, and he's straight on it. I mean, obviously we're going to see the sectors straight away for Harry Lawrence light up, magenta being the first car on the road. However, straight away, Matty Clark eclipses the magenta from sector 1. Does he eclipse sector 2? Yes, he does. So, all magenta so far for Matty Clark.
Yeah, nice
for his opening lap.
Teggles in one of the Porsches. Thanks for the comment there, Elvis. Yes, always got our eyes on Teggles here, and running one of the teethy dinosaur Porsches here. Oh, these things are great. Looks spectacular. Costas McElroy in the Lamborghini. J-Man, where are we? Harry Lawrence.
Oh yeah, Teg super fast in official practice as well. So Teg looking strong for round 1.
Eyes on. Look, seriously, eyes on Matty Clark. Magenta. On the first Lawrence, flying lap here.
206.9. Clarkie eclipses that with a 206.3.
Yep.
What has Hayden Teg got? 207.6.
Costas Makalos in the Lambo, the boat, as we like to call it, J-Man, because it's always got the nose in the air.
Yeah, Costas got that thing up on the plane.
It's got up on the plane. Gunther Rowe actually snuck in there in between. We've got cameras on, actually, on the SimBlacks. Number 43, Aston Martin of none other than famous Steve Crossland. But Gunther Rowe actually sneaking up onto that second row as well, J-Man. Also in a Porsche. He's actually just camera shot of him in the Gorilla Racing Porsche, as always. Well, not always in a Porsche, but as always, Gorilla Racing. So.
And you and I had a little bit of a chat to Nick Firth off camera a little earlier. And
we did.
Watched and logged some laps with him in practice, and look, expect these times to drop because the guy's talking about it really does take a good 2 to 3 laps for these things to get in full operating working window on these tyres. So I expect to see a good half a second drop out of some of these times on this next one. So obviously Matty Clark in there on a 206.3. I'd like to see him drop down into the 5s, and he's certainly going quicker again. He's personal best sector 1, and he's magenta sector 2. What is Harry Lawrence?
So on a mission, J-Man, and a few other obviously names down there that are familiar to us. Obviously Sam Carson rocking the 777 stable logos on the side as well. But Nick Firth, just quick back to Nick Firth. The guy, I don't think he's raced for a couple of seasons, so he's just coming back up to speed himself. So awesome stuff. Here we go. Matty Clark across the line for a magenta.
5.2. He goes 1.1 seconds faster. So we talked about the 5 would be a magical number, and just want to touch on a comment made there by Isaac. Yeah, what an experience it would be to meet Mr. Nick Firth, but the second part is the Tokyo Auto Salon. That would be an amazing event to attend. So awesome for you guys catching up. I'm sure that would have been a great experience.
Awesome. Times are tumbling, J-Man. We were just talking about Matthew Clark, and then we all of a sudden had Hayden Teggs in the Porsche sneak up into second position there, quickly eclipsed by Costas Makalos and then Steve Crossland. So the board is moving quickly here. Mucking around, no time to rest. How much time do we have left? Actually, it's only about 2.5 minutes left in this
Yeah.
qualifying session.
And that's critical too as this tyre starts coming really up and everything starts getting into its working window. We know that Macrolos has not got a lot of fuel on board, neither has Hayden Tegg. However, the likes of Matty Clark and being first on the, well, he's actually not first on the road, I believe. It was Harry Lawrence was first on the road. But what that means is if they cross the line, you know, with still time to go, they may get one more in than, say, somebody that was a little further back from them as they exited pit lane. So the potential to bank an extra lap. And I see that, speaking of Harry Lawrence, he went magenta in Sector 1, so fastest GT3 car through the first sector. So that is incorporating turns 1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay,
5, and then they come out of 6 into Sector 2.
And so, J-Man, update the viewers here. So we can see clearly on the top right-hand side of the screen, he is green in Sector 2 there. Does that mean he bettered his lap time but didn't better the leader's time? There he goes, does it again. Is that...
Yeah, and Harry Lawrence goes up
second
to P2.
position. Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. So obviously the I guess that the magenta's overall, the green is a personal best, and then the amber, if you want to call it, is basically no improvement on their own. So, and it can be very, very close to what they've done, but just no improvement.
Absolutely. Costa's up into third position. Teggs, since we were just talking about him, has actually snuck back up in front of Crossland, as has Gunther Rowe, as has our good friend Nick Firth in the Triple F Racing Aston Martin. So nice work from Firth. They're actually rocking some MATCHFIT artwork on the side of that car too. Represent, brother. Nice work.
Good call too. Elvis. Matt Clark is on another one. Goes magenta Sector 1. So took that back off of what was Harry Lawrence having that number in Sector 1, and that number is a 34.6 versus Harry Lawrence's 34.8. So he is on the gas.
Matthew Clark at his best. Like, basically it's the Aston or the Jag or whatever, you know, like you get this guy in one of these things and he is lightning. J-Man, we know that. We've been calling Matty for a few years now, and look, he just makes these things work, doesn't he? He just really knows the balance of these cars. No surprise.
Time's run zero. Time has run zero, so that'll be the last one for Matty Clark. He didn't better himself in Sector 2. However, the carryover on the number, which was around about 3/10 faster than Harry Lawrence in Sector 2, might protect what he's got here. So if he can finish strong out of the final corner, just runs a little bit deep, misses the apex there, turn 15, wicks it up, throws it away, but is it good enough? No, it's not, because Harry Lawrence is taking the spot.
Wow, J-Man, who would have thought? Okay, and just well, just quick look at that sector breakdown. He was orange in Sector 1, magenta in Sector 2, and then only bettered his lap time and didn't get magenta. It was a green. But you can see it just comes back up there again now. So that's Sector 2, J-Man. Wow, like seriously, that put him there.
And while that was all happening, another big shuffle further down the list with Hayden Tegg, Gunther Rowe, Steve Crossland, Joseph Marnie, and Nick Firth now back down to 8th position in the GT3 class and 12th overall. So just like that, you do have to be pushing right to the very end. And Harry Lawrence has just proven that with what we thought was a very stout time on a 2:05.036, gets eclipsed with a 2:05.033. So nothing in that. That would not be another layer of paint on the front splitter, I'm sure.
Absolutely not, J-Man. And look, what a way to kick off 2026 and the first round of Rainlight Racing's MATCHFIT Entertainment LMU series here at Paul Ricard. Awesome stuff. We have an hour and 15 minutes racing to come. But look, the qualifying, wow, that was epic right to the end, particularly in the GT cars. So awesome stuff. Look, let's just get ready. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. We have got all sorts of stuff happening this year. More than just rain like racing on a Monday night. We do, obviously, MATCHFIT entertainment. Fingers in many pies, J-Man.
Yep.
As we have MATCHFIT events, iRacing event coming up. We're just going to spruik this a little bit, guys.
Yeah, big event coming, and this one's a big one, team. For those of you that do like, you guys that like to tune in to MATCHFIT Entertainment, this one is big because not only is it going live out to you on the YouTubes, we are live on Face TV on Sky 83. So
on the day.
That's on the day. So that's a big one. That'll be around 3.5 hours of live coverage there for that event, and it's got a fantastic lineup in the field. Some very, very quick drivers and a lot of giveaways as well. So tune into that one as we do see the drivers start to make their way to the grid. But that is the first of many events, and I guess
yes, and so much more going on at MATCHFIT. Obviously, on Tuesday nights we broadcasting, official broadcast as well, the Supercar NZ V8 Supercar Series in 2026, all series there. It's about halfway through their summer series, obviously proudly sponsored by GAMAFLARE, among other sponsors you can see listed across the bottom there. And again, J-Man, delayed broadcast to Channel 83 for those boys as well. So we're excited about that. They're excited about that. And yeah, plenty going on over in the iRacing communities there with Supercars NZ on board with MATCHFIT Entertainment in 2026. Also, as always, J-Man, we are streaming live for ASR NZ in their 2026 ASR NZ World Challenge. I think shakedown's 12th of Feb, but I think the official start for that race, for that ASR NZ ACC series, the GT3 series, is the 19th. So get over to ASR NZ as well and sign up for that series. Plenty going on at MATCHFIT. If you hadn't already noticed, J-Man, I think we're going to be back to 4 streams a week with all this going on. But here we are today, here at Rainlight Race 4, round 1. Poor Ricard. Exciting stuff.
Yeah, cars just sitting in formation. Davo just ready to start what will be, I think, is a pretty small formation lap, just the back part of the circuit. So coming out of 13 into 14 and then into it. And look, I might let you cover off what's going on at the front with the hypers, and I'll check back to Harry Lawrence and Matty Clark and see what sort of mischief goes on there.
Well, we're going to try and keep up with this because this does escalate rapidly here. You can see this, they do provide a little bit of a gap between the hypers and the GT cars.
Yep.
I'm not sure why they even do that, because the hypers are literally just going to shoot off into the distance like little rocket ships as they do. But yeah, 4 hypers out there. Why is there only 4? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yes, of course, Ichikawa and Oliver, as they're probably showing up on track, are not here. Of course. That's an LMU thing. Disregard the leaderboard there, ladies and gentlemen. So it's Bewley and Robbie Mitchell on the front row, Chris Fraser and Lee Perkins on the second row. We got Lawrence and Matty Clark front row of the GTs, Costas Makalos and Hayden Tank on the second round, and we have a green flag and early with a start. Whoa, what a jump straight away. J-Man. As they run up the first corner there, Frey all over Mitchell, shows the nose. Perkins is just like, okay, I might just hang out of this for a little bit, get back to the GTs, and it is 3 wide. Going into turn 2 and 3, couple of Porsches, it's actually a trio of Porsches there.
Marnie and Tig
and Crossland just tucked in there behind, keeping an eye on what's going on. Let's get a bird's eye view out of Steve Crosland's car on this first. But plenty of work to do. Actually, get a look out of the back of Steve Crosland's car. He's got Hayden Teg all over the back of him.
Yeah, so not as much straight to work with like we mentioned, the chicane version here. So sees them come up and then a big braking zone, and watching them in practice and qualifying, braking just after the 100 board, I guess with qualifying fuel in anyway, maybe a little bit shorter, a little bit longer with full fuel, but cars will be heavy right now, tyres won't be up to working conditions, so this is the danger zone right now, but equally so it's an opportunity for guys while the pack is so closely bunched to try and make some gains. But speaking of gains, Nathan Bewley, clean set of heels already, starting to check out. It's got 2.2 seconds over Robbie Mitchell already up the front in the hypers.
Yeah, look, the hypers away and have already put some distance between each other already. Unlike the boys in the background here, J-Man, with Lawrence having to have a good hard think about Matty Clark on the back there. This is lap one. Plenty of racing yet to go there as we just see Gunther go into the side of, I think,
Macrolos.
That was Macrolos. So a little bit of a wriggle from Macrolos there. He did gather that up though, J-Man. Nice work with Tony allowing, obviously, Gunther himself and Marnie pass. Couple of B-dubs there. Sneaking on past. Macrolos will be keen to get that position back. Almost looks like Gunther may have backed off. He's let Marnie pass. He might be waiting there, Jayden. Very gentlemanly like for Macrolos to catch up.
I think so.
But he will be mindful that Crossland is literally tucked up underneath the wing of Macrolos's car.
Yeah, Crossy actually just ducked out of the draft and had a big look at Macrolos down to turn one that time, so it's going to have to be well managed by Rowe to try and do this and not actually get duped by maybe Crossland and Hayden Teg at the same time, because once again Crossland having a big look there down into turn 3, turn 4, opportunities down here to open the steering up sometimes and just slip down the inside between 4 and 5.
As we just see Macrolos, Gunther Road just yielding there to Macrolos there. Nice place to do it there.
Yeah.
With Crossland just losing, just far enough back so Gunther could do that safely.
Yep.
But, so much going on, like straight up. Am I surprised? No, J-Man. No, not at all.
Up the front two, Mitchell and... What was that? Who was that?
Oh, that is Crossland having...
That was Lee Perkins. Sorry, a bit of an incident up in the hypercars. Fraser passed Mitchell, and then Lee Perkins just having a little bit of incident there down at turn 14.
Okay, unfortunately the camera guys felt that this was where the battle was, because we just saw Crossland have a red hot crack. And was side by side with Gunther Rowe there. No love lost between these two boys. I know they work closely together, but they are at it. They want to be careful, and we talked about this lap earlier in this lap. Teg's right there, J-Man, ready to pounce if anything goes awry. You can see in the background also Sam Carp and Firth in tow as well. So all of these cars, we're only in lap 2 or 3 here, should I say, and plenty going on already. So what was going on up the front there, J-Man? Sorry, call that out.
You're right, just a little bit of a positional change there between Fraser and Mitchell, and then Lee Perkins, I think, got caught up in a little bit of that as well, and he's still in touch with Robbie Mitchell, but however, Fraser certainly on the move at the moment. As I just look on my chopper cam, and yeah, so he's on the move, but best lap of a 54.0 for Chris Fraser versus a 51.6 there for Nathan Bewley. So he has got that thing wound up and just gone magenta sector 1, sector 2 as well. So likely going to top that off. We'll see what this time looks like. It is a 1:51.0 for Nathan Dooley. So he has got the bit between the teeth at the moment and just really checking out.
He has, and look, we're in car with Matty Clark, talking about magenta sectors here. In car with Matty Clark, who's behind Harry Lawrence, but magenta, sector 1, sector 2, J-Man. Very much like Bewley, but in tow with Harry Lawrence.
Yeah, and there at the moment, best lap of a 2:06.6, and that was the last lap, so be interested to see what the pace the front two run this lap around, and they are pulling away from Joseph Marnie at the moment. So here we go. What does Harry Lawrence run? Okay, 2:06.1 and a 2:06.1 for Matty Clark. So Matty Clark just slightly quicker, just not as quick through the final sector as Harry Lawrence, but you can see it out there right now on track. There is very, very small margins separating these two boys, so I suspect this one's going to go on for a long time yet. They have got an hour and 8 minutes left to run on this one.
There's plenty of time to go at it, isn't there?
Yeah, pit stop will come into play at some point later in the piece.
Absolutely.
So a little bit of spread out now between, I think it is Costas Macross and Gunther Rowe as Steve Crossan will put in a gap. Hayden Teague still very much in touch with the Sim Blacks, Aston Martin of Steve Crossan as they come on to the Mistral Straight one more time. Lap 4. So equal spread out as well when I look back at the likes of Sam Carson, Nick Firth, Pete Dawson and Doug Dale and Ken Worcester in the Wheels Mustang. They all sort of spread out a little bit there, although Ken Worcester looks like he might have a battle on coming up shortly with Doug Dale as well, because he's just made some margin up the straight there.
He did. Obviously, the power of the mighty Mustang in the Wheels Inc. Worcester car there, as always. Pete Dawson actually just sitting in a bit of clean air there, J-Man in 14th. He really didn't come up on our radar in pre-race practice or qualifying in the Ferrari for this season. So, and just finding himself just in a gap in the traffic here where he can just sort of focus on what he's doing. He's chasing Nick Firth currently. Firthy back a few positions from his starting order.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, mate. Just missed that action up the top there. I missed the pass with Matty Clark and Harry Lawrence. So that was done on lap 4.
Yep.
Sorry, I was looking back down through the field. As quick as that, it has happened.
Well, that's how much is going here. Although the field has spread somewhat, as you can see, and back a shot there. These boys, the slightest of mistakes. And look, it's such a high-speed track here for a car. Easily to make a small mistake, and the average speeds are so high that you easily lose a position or two. So, and I will apologise for LMU's replay or lack of it. So, we did miss that one. But look, Lawrence's car looks strong on particular parts of the circuit, J-Man. And again,
he's had a big look there, up into 8.
It stops so well. So Clark not out of trouble yet. He may have got back. We did not see the replay. We did not catch it live. So, you know, for all purposes, Lawrence may have made a slight error there in allowing Clarky pass. So interesting stuff, J-Man. It's not over yet. Like you mentioned, more than an hour to go in this race. And pit stops will definitely come into play. So we just pick up on Joseph Marnie.
Yeah, now Marnie's keeping in touch with these boys. They're literally just up there in front of him, and then equally so Costas Macross. So, you know, this race could still come to 3rd and 4th right now. They're out there, and I'm just trying to get a read on the energy. They're all pretty similar. I think the one that's maybe using the most at the moment might be Marnie in the Porsche. Yeah, might be a little bit hungrier. So, but both those guys at the moment do very, very good sectors and just improving their times.
Definitely. I think we got cameras. Actually, that delta that was just showing was for Costas Makalos. So yeah, Bennett is sectors in 1 and 2 in that last lap. I just saw back a shot here. How close is Clark and Lauren still? So
Marnie, sorry mate.
I can see that. We can see that in the background as well. So look, that fight is definitely not over. Marnie, Costas Makalos. I think Makalos is just slowly inching towards him. Once Marnie gets a mirror full of purple Lamborghini, I'm sure that will distract him. That could be a problem as well. Even more. Gunther Rowe has stretched the legs and got away a little bit from Steve Crossland. Hayden Tegg still in tow. A little bit of a gap between these boys, but that is still a battle, even with those gaps. Then we have Carso, Firth, and Pete Dawson rounding out the top 10 with J-Man still sitting in that little gap in the traffic there. So nice work from Pete.
Yeah, so I guess the catalyst for Marnie and Makalos then was just a little bit offline there for Joseph coming in through 3-4 into 5. It gave Makalos a really, really good look and a long, hard think about maybe a potential of doing something down there, because the gap closed very, very quickly with a tiny little mistake.
Absolutely. So here we are. Where are we at? We are just getting Bewley rolling past Worcester's car. So we almost take bets on this, don't we, J-Man? Like, what is the time? So we're about 13 minutes into this race here. And there we go. Nathan Bewley taking Ken Worcester in the Mustang. Chris Fraser. And mind you, Bewley has a massive gap on Fraser. So Fraser is...
it's nearly 17 seconds.
Yep. And then another 10 back to Mitchell.
Yeah, it is. And I'll tell you what, the fight is very, very much alive at the front for Matty Clark and Harry Lawrence. It would be the closest out on track right now.
That is... These guys, I tell ya...
It's good racing here.
Wow. I'm sure I saw the front splitter on Lawrence's car tucked in the diffuser of Matty Clark's Aston then. Nearly forklifted him into the next corner, yeah. So these guys know mucking around. And 2 class acts, J-Man. That's why they are at the pointy end of this field here. Still with a long way to go, but look at these boys. Another level, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and equally so with the 2 rearward of them, Joseph Marnie and Costas Makalos as well. So those guys trading, but I just feel like the infield through 3, 4, 5, 6 is owned at the moment by the Mercedes. It just looks so good on change of direction down there. Just even now watching them coming down here through turn 11, the car, just the willingness for it to sit tighter on the apex.
It does.
Matty Clark with good drive traction though, out of turn 12 then. Just pulls a little margin, but when we come up here 14, car's got to rotate all the way left and then quick change of direction for turn 15, back to the right.
Yeah, but
just the gap close.
And I think it's the braking, like the ability for the Merc to brake whilst turning. It just seems to range up on the back of the Aston there.
Yeah, good on you, Wally.
Car.
See you Sunday, mate.
So Wally Baker, obviously, yes, legend, massive MATCHFIT supporter, and Joseph Barney, Costas Makalos, that is not going away anytime soon. As we just saw Makalos run deep there. Look, I think he might be a little distracted. Who's that actually sneaking through there? Is that Bewley? It is Billy just coming up in his mirrors there, so he's probably just a little distracted because you can see he's backed off. Oh, that was a little bit of an awkward area. Going to actually get in there. Nice work from Lawrence. Should I say? Costas Makalos just held his ground. It's the best thing to do for these guys in the GT cars. Is just hold your line, hold your nerve, and the boys in the high will find their way past. Here we go, Bewley up on the leaders in the GT car. Quickly dispatches Lawrence in the Mercedes. Oh, gets it awkward.
Yeah, runs the high wide line.
It just seemed to deal with it though, didn't it? So nice work from Billy. Chris Fraser is, well, he's going to basically have the same situation on his hands here. He starts to, I think that is Pete Dawson. He's sneaking past in one of the Ferraris. Or maybe the only Ferrari, actually, I think Dawson's car is. So yeah, the next Piper on the track, so starting to make his ways in the field as well. J-Man.
Macrolos, Marnie, that is getting tight. That was so close. I actually saw the front two, Matty Clark and Harry Lawrence.
Yeah, they're close.
Both missed the apex at 2 to 15, but yeah, definitely not for Marnie. They both made the apex, and the drive from the Lamborghini looked really, really good. However, we know historically how good the Porsche gets off the corner with the great distribution.
Absolutely, and look, not to discount. You don't have to look far back from the Makalos Marnie battle there to see the Hayden tag and see Crossland battle. Crossland running number 43, Sim Blacks, the official Sim Blacks.
Harry Lawrence. Sorry, mate. Harry Lawrence with a run.
Again.
Out of turn 7.
Look at the pumps.
And what this will do to the apex for Matty Clark turning into turn 8? Does it leave him? No, he got out of it. Harry Lawrence got out of it and gave him the line back.
Well, this time. so what a battle. Lawrence might have suffered there a little bit from that. You can see a few car lengths gap, but again, we'll see this Mercedes into some of the the braking areas. Look at the cornering and the braking from the Mercedes. Unbelievable.
It was awkward for Chris Fraser and Gunther Rowe down into turn 11. Fraser went down the inside, and then Gunther Rowe just a little deep under brakes there. Obviously the GT3 is still braking incredibly well. It almost looked like a little bit of front to rear contact there into 11.
So the next car for Fraser to dispatch is the Makalos Marnie battle, which we've been keeping a close eye on there, J-Man. So look, finds him on the start finish straight. Thankfully,
Never done a better place.
Well, for all three of them, really, isn't it? So,
yeah. Macrolos now with a look down into one, slight overlap. Going to go big under brake here. Gets it down there.
Marnie. Oh, Marnie only just gave it to him, didn't he?
Yep. So that releases Costas Macrolos into third. See what he can do about the margins up to Harry Lawrence. It will be, I guess, what is the distance there? About 3.5 seconds, somewhere around there. No, it'll be about 3.3, I believe, up to Harry Lawrence. As we see Fraser dispatch the front two GT3s now, so that gets him through. So still to come is Robbie Mitchell and Lee Perkins. Robbie Mitchell is on the Missile Straight.
Yeah,
probably going to kick Gunther Rowe right before turn 8.
Yeah, so Mitchell just finding Crossland and Tag just in a really nice sweet spot there as he ran out on the back straight there. Quickly dispatch those boys, and again finds Rowe at a very, very nice space on the track there. Easily sneaks past. Next cab off the rank J-Man is Joseph Marnie. Marnie all over it, gives him just enough space to get it done. Macalos up there for Mitchell to deal with.
A good fight going on between Hayden Teague and Steve Cross, and just as I mentioned Hayden Teague's name, he gave it a big whole lot of, I'm going to hit the lock stops action on the way out of turn 13 then. Right on the back of Cross, and now the Porsche of Hayden Teague. Guthrie with a little air gap.
So as always, like these guys, these GT drivers, J-Man, and like literally locked in their own, they're so focused on their own battles, but they've got to be conscious of what's coming up behind them. I think Lee Perkins is the next hyper to wrap those two boys we were just talking about up. Tags.
Yeah, look, they will be acutely aware of what's happening around them, even with the speed difference. However, I did sit in on driver briefing tonight, and the drivers were basically cautioned in the GT3s. The Hypers were cautioned, just saying, look, you've got to run your race. You've got a faster car. The GT3s aren't going to get offline and move out the way for you. It's up to you to do it. So very much focused, eyes forward, the GT3s on the battle they've got, because it is up to those Hypers to try and get through on their own merit.
Yeah. And look, and they do have obviously the aero and the power to do it. So just, I suppose, just a warning to just bide your time, find the right place.
Yes, Lee Perkins now rounds up.
Yeah, that's.
I think that's Marnie.
Yep. So nice work. Lee Perkins now on the back of and past, although a little wide. It's got to smack off, but nonetheless, he got it done. He got it done pretty quickly. He wasn't hanging around for it. The car looks a little loose. Perkins coming up the street nicely, albeit in fourth position out of the 4 hot cars in the field here tonight. J-Man.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see where Perko actually catches up to Matty Clark and Harry Lawrence here, because they're just coming out of turn 15.
Just getting into that. Now, let's see if we can get a little bit of rear action out of the Matthew Clark car here. Here we go. Start finish line. Down into one. Bam. There it is. And
it's awkward. It's awkward.
Oh, it wasn't all done and dusted.
So it could be an overlap here for Harry Lawrence and Matty Clark. He comes incredibly close, because that compromised Clark's on the way out of 2.
Yeah. So from the in-car there, it looked like Perkins had it done and dusted, but the GTs do stop particularly well, J-Man, obviously not carrying so much speed. So when it came down to the braking area there, we still saw clearly there where the Hyper got stuck beside Clark heading into that apex. So very little awkward situation again. These guys still need to be so aware of their surroundings. And look, we were just talking about what was said in the driver briefing, and just giving the Hypers a bit of a rundown on how to conduct themselves out on track. But even with all that and all the respect, you can still find yourself in an awkward position there, and obviously one of the GT drivers there smart enough just to give enough space for that Hyper to sneak on past that Hyper Lee Perkins, mind you. So J-Man, that has tightened up a little bit, hasn't it? That Matthew Clark, Harry Lawrence, Costas Bacallos, and then after passing him up, is actually just extended that Guthrie Road. Also sitting in a little bit of clean air in behind, unlike Steve Crossman, I tell you, who has literally had Hayden Tag just
all over him.
Oh yeah, like it's just chopping with those big teeth on the on the back of the 43 Simlax Aston Martin all race so far.
Yeah, and look, the balance may be coming to Diggles at the moment, because lap 12 in, he has just run magenta in the middle sector. So he is the fastest car out there right now in the middle sector, and you can see the gains he's made on Steve Crossan this lap, and he just ran across a 2:06.8, and he's having a look down the inside. He's going to look to try and outbreak Steve Crossan down into one. Crossan opens the door a little bit.
He did.
Look for a switchback here.
There was just enough overlap there, wasn't there, J-Man, to sort of warrant Crossan just opening the door a little bit. These guys are going at it. This is for, mind you, this is for 10th and 11th, so they're chasing the top 10 here. These two boys.
6th and 7th in class, yep.
Correct.
So, speaking of hypers, just before you mention it, I just want to give a big shout out to Nathan Bewley and the job he's doing right now. Fastest lap of the race at 1:50.560. Sees himself 35 seconds ahead of his nearest competition, which at the moment is Chris Fraser. And that is a fine effort this far into the race.
It is absolutely a fine effort, J-Man, and we just have him on camera there at the moment, sneaking past Ken Worcester there to start lapping the field for the second time in this race. So not a bad effort. And
Nick Firth.
Over 25 minutes in. So nice work, Nick Firth. Hey man, what do you got on Nick Firth? Come on, he's all over Carso.
He's just rattling the cage. Just Sam Carson there is a little bit wide down through 10 heading into 11, but hopefully race control let him get away with that one. But he's in the fight. So that is Aston Martin with a fair bit of MATCHFIT sponsorship, which we do appreciate.
We do.
On the Macca of Sam Carson.
Yeah, definitely putting pressure on, yes, the McLaren, the 777 McLaren, actually, of Sam Carson there.
Okay.
Two names we are very familiar with. J-Man.
Los Costas Macrolos from P3 back to P6, mate. So
clearly
trying to pick up and see if there's any damage on that car or anything. But
an error for Macrolide. Oh dear, LMU gods, please give me a replay button on this game.
Yeah, it'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
But look, that's bad news. So he was currently running third in class. So basically 7th position when we last had cameras on that man. Now he is in, where is he?
He's in 6th.
Yeah,
So the strong suit for Harry Lawrence, after we've banked so many laps now just watching, is his car is incredibly good coming out of turn 6. So that's the right-hander that they come out of, and then they head through the little flip-flop of turn 7 to jump onto the Mistral Straight. And the car just, he can sit it right up on the curb. Matty Clark seems to take this, I guess, a conventional line of double apexing that turn 6. He goes out wide and cuts back. He's having to hold the middle ground at the moment to try and stop Harry Lawrence from sneaking up the inside, because it looks like he's got the grip and the pace to go down there, and there's nothing between these two, first and second in class at the moment. And we saw it, Harry Lawrence led at the start, Matty Clark got him. We didn't see how that happened or why that happened, whether that was a mistake or just a legitimate textbook pass going on there, but it's been that way since. And just look, it's a bit of a chess game for these boys out the front, and it does look like there's a couple of strengths and weaknesses there for both drivers, but one of them being, as we just see, Matty Clark tight on the exit. Flash of the lights now from Harry Lawrence. Says that was a little mistake, mate. I'm going to capitalise on those shortly if you keep making them. But if you want to stick with them, Davo, watch them come down through here, 1, 2, and when we head down to 4, 5, 6, you watch the willingness for Harry Lawrence to sit on the inside of turn 6 and maybe just show the nose heading up towards the Mistral Straight. So down through the sector here, they'll swing left here and then cut back to the right. And Harry Lawrence has a really tight line when they come through here. This part here, he sits the car tight. You can see Matty Clark sits at mid-track, and it really gives an opportunity for Harry Lawrence to poke the car down the inside. And if he can be close enough when he gets there, I believe there's an opportunity there for him.
Yeah, look, and it is that change of direction coming out of those couple of corners there, which leads onto this massive straightaway, what is normally a massive straightaway, but still, even with the chicane in it, that run up to the chicane is quite long. And so, look, it almost looks like Clark is covering to a certain extent, Jamie, and he can tell that Lawrence has that advantage in the Mercedes and is trying to counter that.
Sorry, mate, I was torn between Gunther Road and the heel.
I know.
And then Crossland's Macrolos having a big look on Steve Crossland.
He's having a massive look. I think he's just sort of like calmed the nerves after whatever happened there a couple of laps ago, and he's just focusing again. He is sandwiched between these two. We're having a ding-dong battle just amongst themselves without him there. And so he really does need to clear Crossland to get back and try and move back into place. Look,
here we go, here's a look.
This field of GT cars is still so close together, J-Man.
Yeah, I love the fact that Crossland backs himself on the outside line. We saw it a couple of laps ago.
Yep.
Going down into turn one when he lived on the outside into the left header of turn one. Tiggles had a big look up there, and Crossy knew the very next corner, turn two, goes the other way, and he was going to be on the inside for that side. And we just saw it then with Macrolos through turn 13.
Here we go. This is exactly
Crossy happy to run the high line. Oh, just see
this. This time, no.
Yeah, there was a little jink of the steering there from Macrolos just to open the steering up to cover off that inside line for Crossy there once he made the pass.
And then Teg is all over it straight away. He's just like, okay, we played this game.
Yeah, Tiggles was probably thinking, I tried that 2 laps ago, it didn't work. How'd you do it?
True that. The bigger stoppers on the Lambo, Jamie. Look, yeah, like you said, the confidence of Crossy knowing where he can. Well, it's basically leaving the door open to a certain extent, isn't it? By running wide on the entries in some of these corners, knowing that it all goes the other way directly after it. So, yeah, Crossy. High racing IQ from this man. J-Man, you and I both know that. Running in the number 43 official Sim Blacks Aston there. None other than famous Steve Crossland. J-Man, what's going up at the pointy end here? Let's give Nathan a little bit of airtime. The hypers.
Yeah, I was just on there, just watching him, and he's silky smooth. That thing absolutely sounds amazing.
Look, we do give the hypers some love. I know they're way out the front. We do give them love when they're fighting amongst themselves, but at the moment, Mr. Bewley is dominating this hyper field. So he's just doing his thing. He's settled in nicely, super smooth, looking spectacular. Fraser with a bit of a gap. Obviously behind Bewley, but also over Robbie Mitchell. Lee Perkins rounding out the fourth of the hypers, J-Man, and coming up to speed with this type of racing. And that brings us back to what's going on in the GT racing, which is plenty. It's just, there is so much going on. Matthew Clark, Harry Lawrence still at it after, oh God, how many? It's like 20, 30, 35 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. These guys have been nose to tail. Lawrence led the way for the first few laps before Clarkie got past, but they have been inseparable ever since. Marnie, after a little bit of a mistake, I'm not sure, I think that was the Gunther Rowe Costas Macrolos mishap, snuck in between all of that. Gunther Rowe. So these boys running in a bit of clean air in between the Macrolos car and the back of Lawrence's car. But do you think Gunther might be gaining on Marty there a little bit, J-Man. You can see not too far back, crosses Macalos after just clearing Steve Crossland and Hayden Tagg in the background. These two, these guys look like they're racing for first and second. They've been doing it the whole race. So awesome stuff. Nick Firth.
Yeah, having cleared Sam Carson, just put a little bit of margin there, and his eyes forward up the road, up to Hayden Tagg, but it's a fair old journey up there at the moment. So he's probably just going to try and run his race out still with just under 40 to go. And obviously, energy-wise, guys still got a fair bit in the tank, but we do know that they will have to come and replenish these things at some point in the not too distant future. And I'm sure the rear left tyre is protesting at this point.
No doubt, no doubt. Hey, look, one name that hasn't come up on our radar actually is Ken Dugdale. A new name for us, I think, J-Man. I'm sure we said his name. Just look, he literally has not just come up on the radar. He's just been keeping his nose clean. He's in a bit of clear air at the moment, sort of back in the field a little bit. Robbie Mitchell in the third hypercar. BMW, mind you, just Bilstein BMW just sneaking past there. But yes, welcome Ken Dugdale. Mainline Racing, baptism by fire, brother. Round one here, race one at Paul Ricard. Nice work, lovely looking car too, mind you. But yeah, holding down, what are we looking at? 10th in class, J-Man? So, not too bad. Awesome stuff. Okay, back up the pointy end. What is going on? What is going on?
Yeah, look, it's to be settling down a little bit with Matty Clark and Harry Lawrence. It's probably the biggest gap I've seen. So it's around 0.6 of a second at the moment. It doesn't sound like a lot, but these guys were separated by a layer of paint for the better portion of this race. They just settled down at the moment. Energy-wise, nothing really. Oh, actually, I was going to say nothing really separating them, but there actually is. There's around about 4 or 5% difference between Matty Clark's car and Harry Lawrence's. So obviously that'll come down to what it looks like refueling. So maybe a slight advantage there for Harry Lawrence in the stop, which given how close they are on track might play big dividends on track position. So is Harry Lawrence looking for an undercut situation when they do go to pits? And how might that play out for him if he's got a slightly shorter stop? So he is probably the best looking car for efficiency out of the GT3s that I can see right now, with just dropped into 37% remaining. So obviously the VE plays a big factor in closely with the fuel with these cars, and degradation in the lap time hasn't really affected the GT3 cars as much as it has the hypers as well. So Nathan Bewley, I saw there 50.9 last lap round, 50.5 at best. Okay, so Motor had a bad lap because he was around about 3.3 seconds off his personal best pace last time I looked at him. So I thought the deg might have been a little bit higher for the hypers. The GT3s, not so much. There's probably only 3 or 4 tenths in degradation per lap at the moment for those guys. So those guys really hanging on to the tyres as well.
Yeah, plenty to think about, J-Man. I think we are over halfway here.
Yep.
And just looking, so we've got Matty Clark. Just you can see this camera shot here. Matty Clark, Harry Lawrence there, but you can see Marty in the background. You can see Gunther Rowe in the background. Macalos, Tagg dropping back a lot, J-Man, from the back of Macalos. He's coming there. Big Firth. Yeah. So Crossland in the pits. What happened to Crossland there?
So Crossland.
Is Crossland pitted, maybe. Let's have a look.
Let me have a look. On my data there. See what I can see.
Yes, Crossland and Worcester, J-Man, are both pitted. So Crossland,
Okay.
Crossland back. So first the pit stops. He maybe just thought he might get out of that battle there a little bit. And I think that is Nathan Bewley. Oh, no, it's not. It is. It's actually Chris Lee Perkins. That was it, just snuck past on one of the hypers there. It was Nathan Beale, actually.
Yep.
Just snuck past him in one of the hypers there.
Yep.
So,
Third time.
Yep. Because it is. Exactly. So, just shows ya the pace of these things. Awesome stuff, J-Man. Let's get back to...
Oh, Harry Lawrence gives Matty Clark a tickle up down through that section that I said he's been so strong. So that is in through turn 6. The car is incredibly willing to hold a tight line through there, and he just gave Matty Clark a little bit of a touch-up. Clarkey immediately goes defensive as they head up to turn 8, up the Mistral straight. Big braking zone just after the 100 board. And he's right in this. So we said it had settled down a little bit, but it's got pretty spirited again.
So clearly these guys, we don't, look, traditionally we haven't seen a lot of like massive swings in pit stop strategy with these things, with the VE and stuff, J-Man. So we often see these guys coming in around mid-race. You know, there's like about a 10 lap or a 10-minute window, let's say, either side halfway that we would see them come in. So these guys just have that final push, aren't they, before the pit stop?
And those of you boys tuning in, I don't know whether Isaac's in the air already, about to fly back from South Africa, but I just wonder what advantage that is, having around about 5% better off for somebody like Harry Lawrence. And given the close proximity is on track, does that give him a distinct advantage in the pits, with obviously being able to be a little bit more efficient with what he requires for the final phase of this race post pit stops? We're going to find out for sure, and no doubt hopefully have a chat to these boys post race and just try and get a little bit of insight to what that means. And obviously we'll know what it means on track by the time we get there, but plenty to play out here in the final 32 minutes. And we come up to this point again. This is the strong suit here, down into turn 6.
These guys literally have not let up for the whole race. We are nearly 45 minutes in.
Yep.
And you can throw a blanket over these two cars for that whole time. It's amazing. The focus that it takes to do that. And again, J-Man.
And look at the battle for the podium. Marnie, Rowe, Macrolos, all line of stern coming up the Mistral Straight, heading up to turn 8, and there is nothing between these guys. So, you know, we get, like you say, 45 odd minutes into this race, and the podium's not remotely settled yet.
It's not done. That's right. You know, like, it could be either Clark or Lawrence taking the top spot, and it could be either Marnie, Rowe, or Macrolos taking the minor position. So
first car to suffer from attrition, so that is Lee Perkins with the DNF.
So tough gig, like we already alluded to earlier in the broadcast there. Lee coming up to speed, first race out in the hypers here.
Macrolos, sorry mate, had a big look there up at turn 12.
He slowly edged his way up to the back of Rowe. Now we know traditionally Rowe can get a little distracted towards the end of his stint here. Is he just trying to make sure he's got his pit stop strategy right? Is the tyre on that car just getting a little bit sad? Is the EV a little bit low? So much going through the minds of these drivers, J-Man. It's not just the cars local to them, around them here. But how, like, basically, like I said, they've got the VE to worry about, they've got pit stops to worry about, fuel loads and the like, and then obviously the odd hypercar blasting past them out of nowhere. But look at the gap those two boys have got back there to Marnie, Gunther and Macklos, and that is tightening up, like you mentioned, J-Man. So,
Oh yeah,
definitely one to watch. Don't forget Tags in the background. I think that's a hyper actually sneaking up behind Taggles there. That is Nathan.
yeah, that'll be.
Another crack.
That's another go at it.
Uninterrupted run for both of those drivers. So
Yeah, but it's what he does to play into this group of three here. You know, he could slot himself in and then have to wait. And we just see Macrolos really hounding the back of Gunther Rowe down through turn 11 there. And it makes Bewley have to go to the outside the long way around. And it probably compromised Macrolos, if anything, there. But he'll slot himself now in between Joseph Marnie and Gunther Rowe. And you watch the brakes on the Porsche as they come up to turn 15 and close back up. Oh, beautiful work there, over under. Picked the line, did Nathan Bewley to dispatch of Marnie.
Yeah, exciting stuff, J-Man. He's got so much going on, particularly as we've seen from about the 13-minute mark onwards is the, obviously, the hypers starting to circulate through the field. Makes what is already a battle, a complex battle on track.
Sorry, mate. Was that a touch up there, Macrolos, Gunther Rowe? There's always been a little bit of contact between those two cars at the start of this race.
A little bit of gizzing.
Yeah, there's a little bit of feeling out there. As they came through turn 5 and 6, I picked up on a very sideways Gunther Rowe in the Porsche, gathered it up, maintained his position. However, sigh of relief, I think, for Joseph Marnie, because the longer that goes on, the more likelihood of him grabbing that that third spot on the podium becomes.
Too true, J-Man. As we see Mackel pushing to regain lost positions. We did see him third in class earlier in the race.
Bewley managed to get past Harry Lawrence and Matty Clark quite nicely as well, so didn't really upset those two in their battle.
Oh no, and that was Gunther Rowe again having a big slip, allowing Macrolos past J-Man.
I wonder if he might have to go and get a set of tyres here, because that thing...
I did call that a couple of laps ago. He looked a bit either distracted or just off his game a little bit there.
Yeah, so how quickly it changes. Absolutely. Now he's got Tig to think about back a shot, and obviously Macrolos got a really good free kick there and has got the sights set for that podium on Joseph Marnie. What is the margin now? 61 seconds Nathan Bewley has over Chris Fraser. Robbie Mitchell another 22 seconds back from that from Chris Fraser. So that is, I guess, a preset podium at this point of time for your hypers. Nathan Bewley just doing an absolutely outstanding job in the Alpine over Chris Fraser and Robbie Mitchell. But Matty Clark, Harry Lawrence have put on a show already tonight, still with 25 minutes to go. Hopefully more of the same.
Yeah. Look,
post pit stops.
Marnie cannot breathe yet. I tell you, Jay. Because look, we'll just scroll through the cameras here from Tag through to Rowe, through to Macalon, and then through to Marnie. These guys are close. These guys are close. This is the minor placing here. This is the bottom step of the podium. These guys in the GT3s, these guys are racing for, and again Macalon, pressure from Macalon, that big pink bloody Lamborghini all up in his grill. He's got plenty
Yeah,
to think about.
I thought that, Elvis, I thought that Harry being about 5% better off, you probably know a little bit more about the VE than we do, but 5%, what does that look like at a pit stop? Is it enough if he's close enough to do the undercut? Because it looks that way from here. Maybe he's just staying in touch, knowing that he is slightly more efficient out there. And look, it could be late in the piece and he could come out with track position.
For sure. And look, where are we at? Under 25 minutes to go. We are going to find out soon enough because these boys are going to stop.
It's actually closer to... It's actually 7% because he's growing it by about 0.2, 0.3 a lap in energy saving. So is he doing that by way of sitting in the draft behind this thing and just rolling off a little bit?
Surely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's making some time out there at the moment is Harry Lawrence, and Matty Clark's got good racing IQ. He'll know what's going on. Looking like an overcut for Harry. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Classic example here. We just seen him run out onto the back straight there. Lawrence in no rush to get past his car.
Through Armani. Sorry, mate.
Yep.
It gets that done. So you blink, you miss it here, and obviously not having a replay function. Sorry, viewers, we can't go back to that. However,
we're going to get back up in front here. Sorry, I just saw that back a shot.
Harry
Lawrence is
Eddie
having
Clark.
a red-hot crack. Oh, how close was that, David?
Fortune favours the brave on that one. That is a ballsy moment there from both those drivers, actually.
Oh yeah. And that's what we love. Here, these boys going at it. Look, Rainlight Racing delivering as always, J-Man, with their LMU series. First race on the calendar for 2026, and look at the show these guys are putting on. No mucking around. Matt Clark, Harry Lawrence going at Calcis Makalos in recovery mode and back. Well in recovery mode, back on the podium in the GT3 class. So nice work from Costas to just regain that focus and well, there's a lot of racing to be done. Like the little mishap that happened earlier was very early. And he had plenty of time to get it organised. Joseph Marnie now has, I think, Gunther Road in tow. Gunther, we see him sort of at this sort of stage of his stints. He quite often gets a little distracted. He's just got to stay focused here. Gunther has the pace. We know he's got the pace. He's just got to keep the focus.
Is loose. The car is very loose, so Gunther's car just really not hanging on to those rears.
So Gunther working for his money. Sam Carson in behind. Pete Dawson in 7th class. Ken Dugdale, Hayden Tech, Steve Crosser, Nick Firth, and Ken Worcester. We will actually bring up, because I can do this. I don't know which button to click. Here we go.
Sorry, mate.
Number of stops. So here you go, ladies and gentlemen. You can see on the totem there who has stopped, who has not. Right there. So Robbie Mitchell, first of the hypes to stop. And then we have Tegs, Dugdale. Oh no, Dugdale hasn't stopped. Crossland, Firth, Worcester.
Speaking of which, I reckon we're going to see Matty Clark in here. Yeah. So Matty Clark comes in.
Oh, there it is. Clark peels away.
And he kind of had to, because his average over the last 5 laps is about 3.7%.
So you're talking an EV, VE, should I say? VE loss. Yep. Okay.
And he had 4% remaining, so it was going to be tight to do one more lap.
Yep.
We have had Elvis tuning in on the chat and looking for an overcut scenario here for Harry Lawrence by way of having to take less fuel for this one. So obviously we see Matty Clark come out with 39%.
We also see Money and Gunther Rowe in the pits, J-Man. I think that's Chris Fraser, Rothman's car as well. So plenty of action in the pit lane as we just pick up on Matty Clark coming back out. That is Sam 7 McLaren. He's just jumped in front of with Pete Dawson tucked in behind. So he's got out in front of those boys. Nice work, actually. Looks like it just shows you how much of a commanding lead those two boys, even battling that whole time, had on the rest of the field, J-Man.
Yeah, absolutely. So looking at Marnie, he went a little earlier. So Marnie,
do we
still
see
ahead of Tig.
Do we see Lawrence cover off? Actually, so we just got a camera shot. We just saw a camera shot of Lawrence there, and you can see in the background Makalos's car. So it just shows you how close that minor placing was in that whole scheme of things there. That is actually Lawrence starting to range up on the back of Worcester's car. Worcester has pitted, mind you, in the Mustang. So we will keep cameras on Lawrence here, J-Man, because we suspect we will see the Mercedes.
Here he comes. Yeah, got it down. Look to get it down to the 60k speed limit. And I still think this will be tight, but track position could go the way of Harry Lawrence here at the right time with just over a quarter of an hour left to run on this one. So these are the little increments, you know. Did he play a cool hand there to sit in behind Matty Clark for the better part of this race and maybe make a bit of energy? There you go. He's not going to be on the jacks for very long. So there it is. 34%, plays 36 for Matty Clark.
Where's Matt Clark? Oh,
Turn
no.
14.
Oh no, Clark's Lawrence has got this.
He could well do. Hits the loud pedal. Away he goes. Here comes Matty Clark, but there's quite a margin, so we've got a bit of a race on our hands because we know pace-wise they're very, very similar. But that is the overcut that Elvis talked about. So that is by way of just, I guess, managing the VE a little better through that opening 50 minutes.
60, J-Man. Well,
oh yeah, it is 60. Yep. So here we go. What can Matty Clark do about this gap now? Looks like around about.
Look,
try and get a read on the margin. Should be about 3 odd seconds.
I'll go out on a limb here. I just thought Lawrence always, the car looked quicker. Qualified on the top spot. But although once Clark got past him, you know, they're so equally matched in pace that he couldn't get back past him. Now, back with that lead, man, Lawrence is going to be hard to catch without a mistake.
Yeah, the other thing as well was that deploy. Was that deploy just to sit there and play the long game behind Matty Clark and just make some fuel, make some time? Yeah. As we see Makalos peels in for his official stop now also. Gets that thing arrested nicely before the control line. So a lot of discipline from the drivers out here to not put a foot wrong when they make their pit stops. And they are short stops at that as well too, Davo.
Very much so, J-Man, as we just see. Well, here's a classic. Have a look at it. There you go, Makalos up on the jacks for a limited amount of seconds. Straight back off the jacks in the pink Lamborghini.
And there goes Harry Lawrence, comes past them.
Okay, where's Clark? Where's Clark? There he goes across the line. Makalos, you can see in the background there, just hitting the control line now and back on the loud pedal.
Yeah, so that gap increased that lap too. So Harry Lawrence really put the hammer down. I'll be interested just to see what the lap time was. And so out lap was a 2:22.1. Matty Clark's just come across with a 208, so I didn't see his outlet, but certainly Harry Lawrence has dropped the hammer. It's hammer time for him now in the Mercedes to try and make bank of this and check out for this final phase of the race. Just under a quarter of an hour left to go. What can Matty Clark do about the gap? 4.3 seconds right now. Costas Makrolos around, what's he, 5.2 off of that.
Marty Tag and Rowe aren't that far apart either, J-Man. So this GT battle has been close.
We talked about mistakes at pit stop time, and unfortunately it has cost Pete Dawson a stop-go penalty. So we often see it, but he is going to have to transit through the lane for a stop-go.
Pay the toll, Pete.
Pay the toll, mate. Pay the tax, man. But, yeah, Nathan Bewley now, what's he got? 82 seconds down the road. So, without question, Nathan Bewley, the hands at the wheel. And who is that I just seen around at turn 10?
Gunther Rowe, J-Man.
Gunther Rowe.
Gorilla Racing Porsche. That is made him runnable. I think that was the Steve Crossland, famous Steve Crossland. The official Sim Blacks number 43 Aston Martin. So Gunther want to get a wriggle along.
He's going to have some hot rear tyres on that Porsche right now.
Oh yeah, it looks a little bit wriggly. Crossy, you can see there in the background in the trademark Sim Blacks car. So Gunther, a little unforced error by the looks of it there, J-Man. Just sneaking in a sneaky spin, or half spin, and carrying on. Gives Hayden Tagg some breathing space. Apart from, I think, is Nathan Bewley actually sneaking past him in the lead hypercar. And yes, applause for Nathan Bewley. Just dominating the hypers, J-Man. What is the gap? It is substantial, I tell you.
It is. And speaking of gaps, I just know whether Clarkie just doesn't have the tools to fight this back part, because he was a lap slower last lap round than Harry Lawrence. He ran a 207.3 to Harry Lawrence's 206.3. So has the camel's back been broken? And is this one here, Harry Lawrence's for the taking, barring any mistake? We've seen the effect on the rear tyres of, I think, Gunther Rowe's car at the moment. So
the camera's just picked up on an on-board with Bewley just sneaking past. That is the Custis Makrolos car here, so it won't be long before he dispatches Matty Clark as well. You can see him just there up in the distance, but I say up in the distance now, J-Man, but bloody hell, I tell you, it won't be up in the distance long. Look at that gap shrink as we see Nathan Bewley out onto the start pretty straight as he reels in second position in the GT class, Matty Clark, and into one here. Oh, speed difference.
he caught up to him there at an awkward time, and yeah, just upset the balance of the car.
Didn't it?
Through turn one then.
It looked like he had a bit of a pinch at the rears there, had to grab a bit opposite lock. Did Nathan Bewley. Whatever, that's the most exciting pass that he's made all night. It's looked smooth as silk, I tell you, hasn't he, mate? So nice work, obviously, and applauding Nathan Bewley for a totally dominant effort in the hypers. Harry Lawrence out in the lead, and has he just played the best strategic card here after maybe a little bit of a slip up early in the race, or was it on purpose? Did he let Matty Clark pass? just to sit behind him and conserve that fuel? Well, we may soon find out in post-race interviews, J-Man. But either way, Harry Lawrence out in the lead, first of the GT class cars, and doing a stellar job himself. And Matt Clark, who is on camera at the moment, though, mate, you could have thrown a blanket over these two cars for the first, I don't know, a long time, right? Over an hour. These guys nose to tail for the whole time. Costas Makalos driving a great recovery as well.
Well, so speaking of Macrolos, Dave, I just want to touch on that. I've just been watching that. I think if we pulled him down here for a chat right now, which I won't do and upset the rhythm of this race driver in his car right now, but if you asked him right now the belief of getting to P2 inside the next just under 9 minutes, could he do it? I reckon he'd say he's got belief, because he is closing that margin. He's just run across on a 206.2. Matty Clark.
Wow.
What did he just run? I didn't know. There was a track cut in there, so I didn't get a read on that time. But he was running in the 7s. So that gap is starting to crush now. So we're looking at 3.7 seconds. So the gap is smaller from Macrolos to Clark than it is from Clark to Lawrence. Lawrence got that out to 6.4 seconds now. So I think that is done. I think Harry Lawrence has got a plan here, and he's putting it to execution.
So Dave will put his tinfoil hat on here, and
yep.
I'll just throw it out there. Did Clark maybe make a mistake in the pit stop? Is he still a little bit low on VE and fuel? Is that a possibility, or is just because it looks like he's still Clark? He still looks like he's on the front a little bit.
No, he's good. He's good. His 5-lap average at the moment is around about 3.6 to 3.7% versus Harry Lawrence's 3.4 to 3.5. I think he's good. He's on around about the same VE. I think they're going to be good to get home. I think Marnie could be tight. Marnie could certainly be tight, and he has got Hayden Tegg with around about 4% more VE left in the tank, and he is absolutely hounding him right now. So couple of V-dubs going at it as they tip down into turn 11, and a big moment picked up off the curb for Joseph Marnie. Just unsettled that car, and we've already seen Gunther's Porsche come into some trouble, so maybe a little bit of tie factor with these Porsches late in the piece.
For sure. And look, I've got to say it, Tegg's car does look hungry. Sorry.
Anything to do with the beef, Davo?
Sorry, ladies. I'll stop that right there. But, Tegs. Look, Marnie, this race isn't over for Marnie. We've got 6.5 minutes to go, and Teggles looks like he wants one more position before the end of the night. And, shit, I've got to throw it in there. He looks hungry for it, Jay.
Oh, save me. 3.2 the gap now, Macrolos. And he's got a clear vision, same piece of racetrack now as Matty Clark. So Matty Clark led for a big portion of this race, finds himself in second, and has now got a very hard charging Costas Macrolos. And Sue has just tuned in. Matty got confused with fuel laps. Had 37 laps, so he slowed to coast, then changed to 36. Oh, I see, lost. So he did. You're correct, David. He did lose a little bit of time in there. Okay, so he's just managing at the moment. So that could be some of that margin.
And look how close
that margin. So a little bit of management there from.
That margin is tightening, J-Man, as we speak there. Costas Makalos well within sight of Matthew Clark. There is only a smidge over 5 minutes to go in this race, though, and would be a stretch for Macrolos, but nonetheless, Matty Clark.
He's probably just going to come up a little bit short as Macrolos. 207.1 last lap round for Matty Clark in management mode versus a 206.2 for Macrolos in full attack mode.
I can't take my eyes off the money. Tackles back at the moment, J-Man. Cameramen are back at it as well. because that's where the action is as we wind down towards the end of this. What has been a stellar kickoff for Rainlight Racing in 2026, round 1 in the MATCHFIT Entertainment LMU series here at Rainlight Racing. And look, the race continues. The low 4 minutes. Tag's hungry. Oh, God.
Oh, he's looking for it. He is absolutely looking for it.
Sorry, it just keeps coming out. Oh, Marty runs deep into one.
Yeah, this is going to give Teg a good run down here.
It is.
Down 3-4. He's already got the inside line. I don't know. There's going to be much Marty's going to be able to do about it. Yep.
Takes through. So
and look, he can see. He can see Macrolos out his peripheral. It'll be a little bit too far a gap to work with, but solid drive here late in the piece for Teg, showing that he can play the long game here.
Yeah, so nice work for Hayden, J-Man. Solid effort, showed good form, pre-race practice, and in qualifying. Maybe not so much, but still just good, solid effort. Kept the focus and the head down, so nice work. Marnie probably not going to give it up just quite yet. There's plenty of pressure on. We'll shout out to a few other boys, obviously, as well, in Lawrence and Matthew Clark. Both putting on a freaking show here tonight with a nose-to-tail battle for over an hour, ladies and gentlemen. Costas Makalos with, man, I can't believe he was that far back early in the race, and here he is, like insane camera shot as Matthew Clark at the end of the race here with only 2.5 minutes to run. Stellar effort from Costas Makalos. I tell you, when this guy is hooked up, he is seriously hooked up. Looked like he was always gonna be on the podium, so no surprises in there. Massive applause for Nathan Bewley as he sneaks past the Triple F racing car of Nick Firth there. Chris Fraser running second outright in the Martini car, or the Rothman's car, should I say Martini Rothman's? Whatever. And Robbie Mitchell in the Bilstein BMW. I think we had an early exit with Lee Perkins retiring one of the BMWs there. Oh, we had cameras on Robbie Mitchell as he turns.
There's a moment.
He does have a bit of a moment, keeps it pointing reasonably in the right direction there. Half spin for Mitchell as we wind down. 1.5 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. Harry Lawrence, Nathan Bewley still leading the race with Chris Fraser and Robbie Mitchell in the background. Harry Lawrence leading the GT cars over Matty Clark. Costas Makalos getting even closer, J-Man, to the back of Makalos's car on my timing. Joseph Marnie.
Yeah, two seconds with a lap and a half to go.
And I just point out, Joseph Marnie back past Hayden 10, so, which we missed in the background.
Yes.
So, he's getting past and then making a meal of it, clearly.
Croston's going to grab Gunther Rowe here.
He's going to have a red hot crack at it, J-Man.
Yeah, Gunther Rowe really sideways out of turn 7 there. Had a big tank, slapper. Oh, sorry, it wasn't turn 7, it was actually turn 9.
Oh, look at the run here. Crossland. Looks like he means business.
Gunther's car just not, the rears are just not in the right phase at the moment.
He looks very conservative on the turn-in, doesn't he, J-Man? He looks like he really is nursing that car. Doesn't want to laterally load it too heavily. Crossland can sense, can smell the blood. They wind down to this final sector of the track, and we have a 0 on our timer. Nathan Bewley literally coming across the line behind these guys. The two we were just calling there.
Takes the checkers comfortably.
So congratulations, Nathan Bewley.
100 last seconds.
Wow. It's massive, J-Man. It's crazy time. Sam Carson.
It's a full performance there from Nathan.
Absolutely. Chris Fraser, next hyper on that list. And like I said, with a very healthy margin, is only rolling out onto the back straightaway now and just tipping this car into the mid-straight chicane there. Robbie Mitchell in the Bilstein BMW across the line, packing it up. These guys are done. Time is up. Harry Lawrence, what an effort, J-Man. What a fight throughout the whole race. They have put on a show 100% for us here tonight in round 1 of Rainlight Racing's Match Fit Events LMU Series.
Yeah, fantastic. Beautiful performance, Harry Lawrence. Take a bow. Also, Matty Clark. Such a great fight. He can hold his head high. That was beautiful to watch. And also, Costas Makros gets it down to a second.
Look how close he is.
To take third in class. So that is your podium. And I'm still watching throughout the field. Obviously, a good gap there for Marnie, but Peg right close, right behind him as they round out the final turn as well for fourth and fifth. And Gunther looking to hold off Steve Crossan. Crofty has a big look right at the final corner.
It does has a big dive at it, just to keep Gunther on us there.
Yeah, good stuff.
So good fun stuff there.
And then that'd see Sam Carson come up trumps in 8th over Nick Firth, Ken Dugdale, and then obviously we had Pete Dawson, Ken Worcester to round out the 12, and then obviously Lee Perkins. We did call the early retirement there. So another fantastic performance tonight from the guys. And I think, mate, it is getting on. So I'll press on through the driver interviews. And I think the first guy I'm going to talk to will be a guy who just put on such a fantastic performance. Welcome back to Rainlight Racing's Monday night 2026 racing here with MatchFit Entertainment. Nathan Bewley, another postcode, mate.
Hey fellas, how is it? It's been a while.
It has.
Mate, we had to go like a couple of laps ahead to catch up with you. Man, you got that thing hooked. How good is that thing at the hands of Nathan Bewley?
Yeah, I'm not really too sure. Like, I'm not too sure if people have practiced a lot or anything, because I don't think, in the whole time I've been doing Rainlight, especially in LMU, I don't think I've ever seen someone with like that much, like, if we go a fastest lap, it's 2.3 seconds. So I don't know. Once we get to more conventional tracks that people have raced before, it should be closer. I'm hoping it's closer, you know.
Yeah. No, it was pretty clear to see. I mean, we saw that, you know, the quali time was very, very close to the impressive time that you banked in practice time, mate. So the ability to drop there into the 49s, and then just one thing I picked up on looked to be little to no dig throughout that one, Nathan. Obviously, these things are an endurance tyre, but look, a 50.5 in races, you know, knocking on odd quali times for yourself. Obviously, it's your fastest lap time in races better than anybody else's quali time. So super impressive. So talk to us about the dig on that tyre, if there's any.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that there was too much. Obviously, I could see that the tyre wear indicator was coming down. It was mostly on the rears, and before, when qualifying, I seen that the left front, especially through the fast right-hander, after the straight, and then that like double apex right-hander after that, it seemed like the front left was really getting fresh. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll put the hard on the front, and then hopefully that'll even out. And then, yeah, obviously as the race went on, the rears are actually the things that were getting more worn, but that didn't really bother me because I could always turn up the TC. And yeah, I don't think there was really any tie there because I said the best lap there was on the last lap of the race.
I see that there. It's just come up on my
Yep,
data.
yep.
155.10 was the final. So that speaks volumes. And interesting, the pickup there on the front left hard tyre that I'm not sure whether Lee Perkins ran that, but your competition, Fraser and Mitchell, also opting for that tyre situation as well, or opting for the harder front left. So obviously that being the wear point. Now, probably one of the only moments that we saw was a little bit sketchy was potentially the pass down into turn 1 late in the piece. I think it may have been on one of the front runners in the GT3 class there. Just caught you off guard a little bit, just the pace that you turned up, had to get out of the throttle at the wrong time. Bit of a hairy moment there, Nathan.
No, I don't think so. I think it might have been Matty Clark. I don't think. I think it was like
Yeah.
I think it was Clark. Yep.
I braked
Yep.
earlier, and I literally turned in, and the rear just started just to slide a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, I'll just get on the brakes a bit and just slow it down a bit more."
Yep.
I'm still pretty new to these things when it comes to overtaking people, so I really try and be quite cautious, because I'd
Yeah.
rather like lose a bit of time than take somebody out, and it doesn't matter if I've got a 4/10 gap, a 4-second gap, or a 4-minute gap in
Yeah.
front or behind. To me, it doesn't matter. It's more about being courteous to other drivers because they still have the right to be on the track, even though they're in a slower car. They're still racing their race, and I could see that they were still quite close to each other. So it was like, oh, no point me sticking my nose in, possibly taking someone out, and then ruining their race as at the same time.
Yeah. Nah, well, mate, an outstanding performance. Probably the biggest margin that we've seen here at Rainlight. And look, I know you've sort of said it, maybe these boys haven't turned up as prepared, but look, it's a fantastic way to start the series, mate. Just absolute dominance. So well done, Nathan Bewley, and thanks for the chat, mate. No doubt we'll be talking again in 7 days' time.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Yeah, well, yeah, because we've also got a tire change, like update for the hypercars coming. They say in February, so that will completely change how the cars drive. So maybe some people might be able to hook more onto that once that comes. They might be able to bring some more pace.
Yeah, nice. Good calls there from Nathan Bewley. Thank you very much for the chat, mate. Enjoy that one. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks, boys.
So there you go. That is Matty Clark. Now, I did see Harry Lawrence did come down, but he has...
I think.
Yeah. I did see Harry Lawrence come down close, but he looks like he's disappeared. So we will grab, I think, second place getter for this one. We will grab Matty Clark and have a bit of a chat with Matty.
There.
You got a yeah. He's doing some sponsorships, signing some autographs or something.
Of course, yeah. So, signing merch,
Oh,
Nice work, man.
Matty, what a race.
thanks,
What an
boys. Hell of a
absolutely
first race back. My
fantastic.
God.
Yeah. Now, talk to us about that. Obviously, led the better portion of that race leading up to the pit stops. Were you aware that potentially Harry may have been making some pit stop time there tucked in behind you? Had you thought much about it? Was there anything you could have done about it?
I'm terrible at lifting, so I think the moment, like, if I even tried to start saving fuel, he would have just overtaken me. So I don't think it was worth it for me. I didn't realize for a little bit. I think maybe halfway through the stints when I clocked in to him having like 5% more than me, and I went, oh, okay, I see what's happening here. I don't think it would have mattered because he had so much more pace than me at the end of the race anyway. Him and Costa were killing me on lap time in like after the pit stops. I got kind of screwed over though by the game a little bit because when I pitted, it had said that it was going to be 35 or 36 laps for the race the whole time. So I fueled for 36 as like the longer option. Came out of the pits and it said 37 out of nowhere and went, oh shit, I'm going to have to start lifting.
Yeah.
Did that for 3 laps and then it went back to saying, no, it's 36 actually. I was like,
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. That was probably by way of obviously the the time, and then where Bewley maybe was as well.
Yeah,
but
behind us.
hey, look,
Yep.
and I think Sue called it as well, mate. She was fully aware of what was happening. But mate, what a battle! And then talk to us
Oh, it was
about
fun.
that post pit stop pace. Was that more about what was left in the tyre? Because it didn't look like the dig was that bad, Matt.
My front left was at nearly half life at the end of the race. I checked and it was at like 54. I don't know if it was tire. I think some of it is I don't know anything about adjusting brake bias and things over the course of a race, so I don't touch it, and that definitely hurts me late in races when I'm not when I'm still using like having the car set up like it should be with fresh tires and lots of fuel. And I think some of the other guys know more about that than me, and I think that gives a big advantage later in the race. Whether that's true or not, like in regards to what the difference was, I don't know, but that is definitely something that I am conscious of needing to learn. Yeah, I don't know. I had no. I think the best lap I did in the last bit was like a 6.6, but for the most part I was sitting at 207s, and both of them were doing low 206s still, which is what the pace was earlier in the race. I don't know how they were managing it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. But hey, look, at the end of the day, I think you've thrown your hat in the ring for
Yes.
to be a top contender for this championships. It's a 10-round series, and you really
Yep.
showed what sort of pace you had out there. And you talked about the pace of them late in the race. But look, early in the piece, other than I think maybe the option line that Harry was taking through turn 6, it looked pretty static out there as well. It looked like you guys were mirroring each other's pace, but he could certainly tuck the car inside
turn
there.
6?
And so just in sector 1 there, you come through 1, 2, the flip flop through 1, 2, and then you head down to 4, 5, 6, the right hand, left hand,
Yeah.
and then it comes out onto the Mistral Straight. And he touched you up there a couple of times just to let you know that he was there. And but look, that looked to be about the only weakness that you had out there as far as the lap with Harry. However, like you said, we did pick up on I guess a little bit of fall off in the back end. But mate, I thought it was a fantastic effort, and that little pit stop faux there. I think if that's tidied up, I think you still would have been well in it because the pace was so similar.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it was a ton of fun, and honestly, props to him for making the coasting work. He played that perfectly, so
Yep.
can't hate the player.
Yeah. No. Look, shout out to Harry. We obviously haven't got him in here for an interview, but so shout out to Harry Lawson, also
Definitely.
Costas Makrolos on the podium. But we have got Matty Clark here from P2. And before we let you go, Matty, is anyone you want to give a shout out to? Any sponsors, any family before we let you go?
I want to give a shout out to Jose for the P4. I dared to dream for a little bit mid race when I saw that he was running third and Costa had dropped back to fifth.
Yep.
I was praying for Jose's first podium, but a P4 is huge. So
yeah,
shout out to him for that result. That's massive.
And it was hard fought too.
Yeah.
Because he had plenty going on there with Teggles there chasing the whole time.
Yeah, shout out. Anyway, well done, Matty Clark. It's been a fantastic night of racing, mate, and you got plenty of TV time by way of just putting on a fantastic show.
Absolutely.
Yourself and Harry Lawrence, class acts. Well done, mate.
No, thanks, boys. It's nice to talk to you again. I've missed you.
Yeah,
And
likewise, buddy. Likewise.
We missed you too, Matty.
Yeah.
So yeah, good to have you back, and and no surprise, you're back in the comms box with us. So
Yeah,
nice.
enjoyed that banner seat.
That's right.
Good stuff, Matty. Thanks for the chat.
Thanks, fellas.
We'll let Davo pay some bills and sign off. Awesome, Matty Clark. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Have a good one, boys.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Well, there you go. A well-deserved congratulations to Matty Clark, J-Man. What a race.
Yeah, fantastic performance, as by everyone out there as well. So Nathan Bewley and the other hyper drivers, so Chris Fraser. Unfortunate for Perco to go out that way. But anyway, it's a learning curve jumping into a new style of car as well. But shout out to Joseph Marnie as well on his result, and everybody else in their good battles. Hayden Tegg as well in there.
For sure.
Good stuff. Good battle between Gunther Rowe, Steve Crossan. But look, I'm going to sign out. Thanks, viewers, once again for tuning in to a Monday night
Yeah.
affair, which
Yeah.
was fantastic.
Yes, J-Man, and thank you, obviously, for being my wingman again here on Monday night for Rainlight Racing's MATCHFIT Entertainment LMU series. We will pay the bills just quickly. Let's give the good people at SimBlacks a shout out here again. Once again, always on board with the Rainlight Racing crew, we'll say. And mystery giveaway again this series. So stay tuned. All details will be revealed. We like the mystery stuff. So awesome stuff from SimBlacks as always. And like we mentioned, it is officially sponsored by MATCHFIT Entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, that means that you've got to hook up with MATCHFIT events. If you want to follow MATCHFIT Entertainment, hook up with MATCHFIT events. We got some big stuff going on this year. Tune in, subscribe to our channel. Next weekend, or this week coming, should I say, 8th of February, we do have the Phillip Island 500 MATCHFIT event. Tune in to or sign up for that race if you're into Ryo racing. Well worth a look. Big prize pool. SimBlacks on board with that. Mozu on board with that. There's merch, there's trophies, people, and a huge prize pool there for that one. Get involved. Obviously, we are streaming not only this on a Monday night, but on a Tuesday night, we are streaming for Supercars NZ and their Supercars Summer Series, proudly sponsored by GAMAFLARE, as well as being delayed broadcast to Channel 83 on Sky. Did I mention that the Phillip Island race was actually getting streamed live this Sunday on the 8th of February? So tune into Sky 83. And also, while you're there, if you're subscribing to MATCHFIT Entertainment, you will see this come up in your notifications as well. SRNZ's 2026 GT3 World Challenge. Get amongst it. All the links are in the description, ladies and gentlemen. Get over there. Get amongst it all. Follow MATCHFIT. Follow Rainlight Racing. We will see you all next week. Bahrain for round 2. J-Man and Davo will be there. Bye for now.